Hello, and welcome to Every Way Woman, the show that was created by women, for women, and the issues that are important to us. This is our tribute to moms. And tonight, we have a very special guest, the world's greatest mother, my mother, Teresa Bernardo. Teresa, thank you for, this is the first time I've called you by your first name. Teresa, Mom, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
You know, in our tributes to Mom, we wanted to ask that question. Does my mom know what's best for my kids? You know, you raised me a certain way, but now that I have my 3 children, your thought process is a little different. Do you know better for my kids than I do?
No way.
Oh, talk. We want to hear you. You're never shy for words, Mom.
Why? Why do you not know better?
Well, I think that each individual have to be responsible for their children, and even if I wanted to be interfere in Stacy's the way she raised her children when she first got married, she told me that what happens in the Lewis house stays in the Lewis house.
You never forgot that, huh?
And so I learned that I have to respect her. I may not agree with her, but I have to respect her by not butting in. And if I have something to say to her, I would call her later and say, you know, such and such a thing. This is my opinion, because I'm very opinionated. But I also learn with my children, they have their opinion, they have their own values, and I have to.
Do you give Stacey advice?
Not anymore.
What are some of the things that you remember that she advised you on?
You know, my mom raised me, my parents were divorced when I was young. And the strength that I have and the confidence that I have, I really attribute that to my mom. And I don't tell her that often, but really the lady that I am today is because of my mom. She came over here from another country when she was 18 years old, didn't have command of the English language, and she was able to attain the highest level, to even get a master's degree, and she taught for 35 years. So I've always been enamored about what she represents. Mm-hmm. And she's just a better person for that and what she's put in the life of my kids. But I'd actually like to move the questions to you, Christine, for your mom. I know your mom is not here, but does your mom know better for your kids than you?
No, I don't think she does. I mean, the way I feel about it is the only one who ever knows what's best is God, and I feel like, you know, I can do what I feel is best at the time, and my mom can give advice on what she feels is best at the time. But, you know, we're just trying to do what we feel is best, but you know, it's always just an individual thing, and I raised my children the way I see fit, and she raised me the way she saw fit.
But you know what I think as mothers, I don't think we do a good enough job in communicating to that. Because if you're not careful, it will appear, there's some things that I do different with my children than my mom does. And so if I'm not careful, she could think, well, I made a mistake. And so I have to say, no, Mom, you didn't make a mistake. I'm just making a different decision, right? And the same with my children, my daughters, my son, if they want to do something different, it's not that I use the knowledge that I had, but that they want to make a different decision.
Right,
and I think that's what's excellent.
If you look at like adults now, like if you look at each one of us, we've all been raised differently, but yet, you know, we're all respectable women, although our backgrounds are all different. So even if people are raised differently, that doesn't mean they can't grow up to be good, successful people. So I think a lot of times people just get caught up on
Let me ask you this question.
Like
So Charlotte has a grown daughter, she has little ones, I have little ones. What is the best parenting advice you ever received and that you think that you can give?
The best parental advice I ever received from whom?
Are you crying, Mom?
No, my
The best parenting advice you've ever received from someone, it could be anyone, and that you could give, just real quick.
I think that best parental advice I ever received is from a friend, a very special friend named Carol, and she says you have to allow your children to be who they are created to be. You can't manipulate them and you can't mold them.
Right.
You want them to be a certain way, but their gift alone really from God to you, and you have to take that time and allow them to be who they are. You may not agree with what they want to be, but you can guide them, because you cannot change them because they're born the way they're supposed to
and
be.
what's the best advice you could give?
Give?
Mm-hmm. That's what you receive, but what could you give to a mother? Or
Tell my daughter to good luck, or my children. If I have a friend, especially if you have a child who's a problem, you still have to love them, but you just have to tell them, don't give up, don't ever stop loving that child. If that child feels love, no matter whether they're 1 or 100, you just have to show the love and respect. You have to respect them. If they're going to make mistakes, and you can't expect them to be like you.
And my final question for you, Mom, is great.
No.
You know, there's that whole thing about grandparents. I don't understand it. They say that you'll never understand it until you're a grandparent.
True.
Tell me in 5 seconds, what is that fairy mystery feeling of being a grandparent?
Your second generation,
Okay.
a blessing.
Okay.
And there's a love that you have for a grandchild that you never had for your child, because you can send them home.
I've always heard that.
Oh my gosh. On that note, thank you so much for joining us at Every Way Woman. We want to thank our special guest, the greatest mother in the world, Teresa Bernardo. And if you want to continue the conversation, which I encourage you to do, please log on to our website, everywaywoman.com. You know the question. Are you an everyday woman? Good night.